The option is just stop mowing, and also is a simple technique how to recreate things. See what's there. There's a lot of seeds. Many times the seed bank is there of some really awesome native plants. And in this situation in 2001, just let it grow. There was a lot of good stuff there, so we went through and weeded it and replanted it. And then this past summer, we had a photographer go back out there, and almost 20 years later, it still looks amazing. And that property still has a flat area where they can come down and enjoy the lake. And down on the right corner, you can see like a green pathway. And on the right side, on either side of the pathway is a lot of different tall prairie plants. They decided to narrow that hillside, and the rest of the property is wooded, but they kept a mowed hillside because they had kids. And it's a great sledding hill. And in the winter, if you sled down that hill and you go fast, you go so fast out onto the lake. So there's those, how do you use your property? But 20 years later, there's just they don't need to maintain a ton once it's established. Some ideas from high impervious surfaces. It looks pretty, it looks great, but having this amount of impervious surface at the lakeshore immediately right there is highly impactful and detrimental to the lake. So how do you not do these things and still be able to enjoy sitting down by the lakeshore and having a campfire? We're not saying don't have a campfire pit of it. Reduce where those campfire pits will have those impacts. Okay. And other ways, here's some still being able to maintain a sitting area, but less impactful. Maintaining an artificial beach, coming in and dumping sand into the edge of the lake or into the lake, highly detrimental. You do need permits to be able to do that. There are a lot of lake shores that have naturally sandy beaches, and if you have a naturally sandy beach, maintain just a small one. The rest of it should be maintained naturally. Stormwater is another issue. And on all of these areas, look at where your stormwater is going. If you're collecting it in storm drains and dumping it directly into the lake, you're basically saying it's like, oh, let's have a direct conduit for pollution to get into my lake. So look at those areas as well. How can you not do that? Some ideas is you capture and infiltrate the stormwater. Different rain gardens. This rain garden actually captures runoff from the road there, which had just recently been paved. You can capture your roof runoff as well. The one on the left is Milton Township Park up north, and it was a boat access area, and all of the water was running into the lake. There's a lot of erosion going on, so we created a wet garden, basically captured the runoff, and it infiltrates it and cleans it before it actually makes it to the lake. The one on the right is a home property that it was like a high water and springs that were it was almost like a creek that was running off down the property, so they planted it into native plants. And they have a nice sitting area back away from the lake. Rock infiltration options. You don't need to maintain a garden. You could just have a rock infiltration from your roof runoff, from a parking lot area as well. And some resources for inspiration. We have the Landscaping for Water Quality books out in the foyer out there. The Natural Shoreline Landscapes on Michigan Inland Lakes is available for purchase. And then the Controlling Erosion and Runoff from Your Property. I have a copy of it, but you can actually print it off as well. All these links are provided on the Michigan Natural Shoreline Partnership's website as well. The one on the right is a Wisconsin document. It's designed specifically for homeowners too. So, finishing up is that not everyone is going to be able to do everything, but everyone can do something. So when we're looking about how do we reestablish some of this lake resiliency and recreate some of this natural transition zones and really share the shore, You have a lot of options out there. It's just being about creative and being flexible about what your property is and what can you give up and share the shore. So we'll take questions again at the panel, and I'll be around this afternoon as well.